This Stockton fixer already went pending before I could even finish recording this episode. Last year, this home sold for almost $238,000. Now, it came back near $300,000 as is, with little repairs at all. So what does that tell us? Yes, somebody wanted it. But that only proves demand. It does not prove the math. Let's see if this home actually survives the math. Let's cut to today's case on the next episode of Real Estate Forensics. As you could tell, this is a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,200 square foot home in Stockton, California. The home was built in 1963 and the listing is around $300,000, $299,900 to be exact. If we look a little bit at the description, we could see that it says right here, diamond in the rough. Obviously, this is something that is not something that's clean. It's something that needs a lot of repair. It's investor style language, which means it's going to be needing a lot of repair. But the thing that caught my eye right away, and I saw it as sort of something that to consider and could be a potential red flag, is this, what we scroll down and see right here. We're looking at the history or the price history of this home. And here's the curious thing. This home, if you notice right here, in 2025, it was sold for $237,500. Now the listing and now the pending list price is exactly $299,900. So we could see that this home, from what I could see, had no work apparently done to it, yet the seller is asking for a lot more. That right there is something that could be a potential issue and could be possibly a flipper trying to flip this right away without repairing it. Now, what do the pictures tell us? As you can see, the pictures paint the story about this home. This home obviously needs a lot of repair. We could tell right away that repair is needed. This is not a finished product. It doesn't look completely destroyed. There are parts that look salvageable, but there are huge limitations and work that needs to be done, as you can tell by these obvious pictures. One huge limitation about this is what you see right here, 1 bathroom. That's gonna cost quite a bit in the after repair value. So the photos here don't clearly show an explanation for the jump from $237,000 to almost $300,000. So what we need to do is now run this through the analyzer and see if this would survive our math, and is this something that we would have bid in if it was still available. So what does the analyzer say? Well, as you can tell, we have our forensic analyzer pulled up with the property address input. Now, I went ahead and ran all the information based on the $66,000 rehab estimate, which is an estimate based on what is seen on the property. So what ended up as a result is interesting. We could see the numbers that it came up with. A working ARV of $434,524. Working rehab, we already mentioned it, $66,000. A working rent, which is the average rent for this type of home in Stockton, $2,200 a month. Now, what do the numbers tell us based on this? Well, here's what's interesting. You could notice here something interesting. The seller ask is $299,900, but our target for a BRRRR is $210,000. So right away we could see that even our walkaway number is $234,000. So for this type of deal, for a BRRR, we're talking about $65,900 too high. In other words, this would trap our capital at $107,000. The verdict, ask is too high for a BRRR, and that's the killer. Our capital would be trapped. It would be very hard to get a refinance to get our money out. This is something that could trap us, and that is the killer. So here's the part that matters. The analyzer estimates the ARV around $434,000 with 66 in rehab. The walkaway, as we could tell, is way, way, way less. So the seller was asking too much. Now, does this work for some other type of deal? Perhaps if the person wants to live in it. It might work as a quick flip to get a few bucks. But as far as what we're looking for, it absolutely does not work. Even if somebody wanted to buy this house, does not work for a BRRRR deal near that price. So what's our verdict? Well, this already went pending in the time I was recording this, so obviously there was demand. But just because there is demand does not mean that there is math. In other words, this deal for us would have been the wrong deal. Our analyzer told us that the walkaway price was $234,000. This is pending for a sale of $299,900. The gap would have been $66,000. The result is that for us is that it's a quick kill. This concludes our episode. Thank you for joining us and see you next time.